So Manchester United are doing everything they possibly can to pick one right winger and keep him at the club that has caused absolute chaos while trying to do their best to out another one. This is Forever United TV. Welcome to your Saturday morning show. Well, Saturday morning here in the UK, obviously. Big FA Cup weekend ahead. But if it's evening, it's afternoon. Hello to you across the world, and thank you for joining me this morning on the show. I've just rushed in. Sorry I'm a little bit late, guys. My lad was playing football this morning. It was out in Bolton. We had a bit of traffic, but we won 7-1. So comfortably in second in the league now with Alfie's team. So big up the Kestrels, and hopefully now back end of the season we can push for that title. That was where I thought Manchester United were going to be this season, but no, not a chance in hell that's going to happen with this team. But yeah, anyway, we've got plenty to get into today. Obviously, the news has come out today. We were talking last night regarding Timo Werner and Manchester United not being ready or in a position, or not looking like we were able to even afford a loan fee. Apparently, Leipzig, within this Werner situation, offered Werner to Manchester United, and United have not taken up the opportunity. Now, you can look at this a couple of ways. Obviously, you can look at this as Manchester United being smart and not just jumping the gun, like we said last night, or you can look at this as Manchester United in complete disarray, not knowing who is saying yes, who is saying the no, who is in control, or who has got the authority over any decision. And another football club, another football team from the Premier League has come in and taken Werner away. That being, yeah, in terms of Manchester United and the Werner, I said Werner was probably our best option, to be honest. But when you read everything, Fabrizio Romano broke it this morning. Timo Werner has accepted Spurs' proposal. He's very keen on working with Ange Postecoglou. Postecoglou also approved the deal. So I think what happens there is, I think if you're a Spurs fan right now, you're looking at Timo Werner, for instance, and you're going, I didn't really expect that to be happening. It's not something that we would have looked at. Similar with United fans, but the difference between Spurs and Manchester United is that Postecoglou is improving players at Spurs. Postecoglou, you can see he's having an effect on that team right now. That was a distinctly average, completely out of Europe Tottenham side last season, who lost the best striker on the planet in Harry Kane in the summer, and now they're looking at surefire, set in stone Champions League place. In my opinion, some may differ and someone else may come into that equation, but they look good for the top four for me. So Ange Postecoglou is making a difference with players. He's improving players. He's getting into the psyche, and he's making everything better with Spurs on a minimal budget, you would say, as well. So for me, Timo Werner going to Spurs probably makes more sense. If you as a player and you're looking at what's happening at United, chaos, and you're looking at Spurs, you think, all right, yeah, do you know what? Actually, going back to the Premier League, there's an opportunity for me here. If I'm Timo Werner, I'm saying I can go and prove a point, and you know what? Maybe there's an avenue back into the biggest league in European football. If I have a good loan spell right now at Spurs under Ange, and I'm looking at Richarlison, I can definitely take his place. Very similar in terms of goal output. I think Richarlison's probably got that a little bit more, but Timo Werner can definitely do a job for Spurs this season, I feel, under Ange Postecoglou. I think this is the biggest difference in everything with United and anyone else right now. I feel like I just said then, Ten Hag, no one knows what's going on. The chaos that is Manchester United, any player looking in is probably going to pick someone else. I've said it all along, if we lower our expectations to where we realistically are at, we cannot compete in even bringing in a Timo Werner over Spurs, because the setup is different. Football has changed. The sooner we get away from this is Manchester United, the better. We just need to accept reality right now and just look at it from a football aspect and go, right, okay, we're not that appealing. We're really not. Now that the wages are going down, now that Ineos are coming in, Manchester United, I've said this all along, so I keep beating this drum of Manchester United have to be a little bit different and savvier in the transfer market, and we're not going to get the usual names. You're going to have no European football to offer, definitely not Champions League unless we have a miraculous second half of the season. There's no cohesion in the team. You don't know what's happening with a coach. You don't know where the club's direction is going yet, because there's no structure. It's up in the air. and the wages are not big. So you're not even going to get these players coming in now for a bit of a summer camp, a bit of a cash cow. That's not going to happen either. So when it comes to negotiating right now with United, honestly, I look at this window and I go, I think we'd be lucky to get anything in. The priority is quite clear, getting players out, and then I think we're going to have a look at what we can afford. I don't think Manchester United are going into this window the same as it was, which would be us going in, making our targets, and then trying to scrape the barrel right at the end. I feel like the project for this January for Manchester United is get in, get the players out that we can get out, and then we'll have a look at what's left. We'll eye up some targets, obviously, if they're still available. By the time we've done the real business, which is getting players out, possibly making a little bit of money, then we go with that. I think that seems to be the tack for Manchester United this January. Food, sorry. I'm going with it, sorry guys. It is what it is. I'm going to get into the chat now anyway, but let's just see where you guys are at with the Werner. Are you bothered? I mean, I don't think many people will be, but let's just see. Compost Smurf says, we've known we are skint for ages, but wait until January to try and start raising money. Myrto is an absolute weapon. If you didn't watch last night's show, guys, please do go and watch it. Tune into the last 15 minutes of the show, where I read out a huge piece from The Athletic as to why Manchester United are in the situation they're in right now in terms of finances and only being able to afford 2 loanees. It is an amazing read. I was going to break it out in sections, but Myrto and the damage that man has done to this football club is just unreal. It really is. And you have to just listen to that piece that was done by The Athletic. Good morning all. I hope you are all having a good day. I am Huggy Boy. I hope you're well. I'm just getting through your chats now, guys, so bear with me a second. Neil Driscoll, morning Peter and Stephanie. Oh, hello. Having a bit of a chat between yourselves as usual. Good. I should be doing something useful, but here I am with my cup of tea. Guess you're not the only one, except I'm on the coffee. Hope you're all tucked in and ready for this afternoon's football. Hope you're all ready for top of the league as well. Directly straight from this show, right across to top of the league. Please make sure you join us. We'll be putting links in. Actually, the link is in the chat right now, guys. Come and join me, and let's have an afternoon together watching Sunderland against Newcastle in the FA Cup. That is the most outstanding fixture of this weekend by a country mile. Barry Parterton, not really married about Werner. If the only reason players want to come to Manchester United for wages, then let them jog on. This is where you sort of look at what's happened with Werner. Normally we'd be like, we've lost out again to another Premier League rival. Oh, we're just sleeping on this. Why can't United do things in the transfer market? Well, we're looking at this and we're going, you know what? Maybe we have to give the club a little bit of credit. Maybe we have to give the club that little bit of praise just for not jumping in on this one too quickly. Because we could end up with the Wout situation from last season, which, let's be honest, as much as we loved him, he's a bit of a cult hero. We were wishing the ball in the back of the net for him. He wasn't very good. And it didn't really work out for us, did it? So, no, I'm looking at that and I'm going, right decision was made in not jumping in. I actually still think Timo Werner, if we'd have structured it properly, wouldn't have been too much of a bad deal. I really don't. So, I think bullet dodged a little bit, I would say. A little bit. I'm getting into the Jadon Sancho situation right now because all the updates, and like I said yesterday, anyone who was saying that this deal was done and dusted, crazy. No, the full update on this is Jadon Sancho is still waiting for the green light. The originally booked private jet from Manchester for today is not supposed to be yet. So again, another one that's not made it, or the time has had to be cancelled and moved on a little bit because things are still being negotiated. Still no breakthrough. Now the interesting thing is, breakthrough with what? Where is the issue? We're even hearing from the UK that a deal could drag on over the weekend. That's Patrick Berger who said that one. That was the news coming out from the German side of things. Another one here, which is I think this is from Sky Germany again. Still not a deal between Manchester United and Borussia Dortmund. All involved parties hope Jadon Sancho can fly to Marbella this weekend. Dortmund won't secure an option to buy Sancho. It's impossible. So, from what we were saying last night, I said Manchester United should have put a buyout or a buy option into this loan deal. Apparently, it's impossible because financially Dortmund are in no position. That's why there's no option for Dortmund. It's just the club itself, nothing about Manchester United's structure, so that puts that to bed, thankfully. Acquiring Sancho is simply not feasible, partly due to the salary and the transfer fee. In the event of an agreement now, his return is planned for the summer. So that is Jadon Sancho all wrapped up there and where we're up to with him. It's not going to happen anytime soon, as in today, probably, over the weekend, possibly into next week, they're saying. So let's just see what happens there. On Jadon Sancho, but I don't think anyone's losing any sleep over that one right now. In terms of other news, Manchester United actually not really bothered about Jadon Sancho coming back. I'll stick to my guns on what I said last night. I feel like the issue with Jadon Sancho coming back is it's all more pressure on Ten Hag again. So I actually do feel, I keep going back to the worry that Ten Hag isn't going to last out the season. Some will say, why are you worried, Adam? He needs to be gone now. He's not good enough. But there is something in Ten Hag that Manchester United, I feel like he can get more out of Manchester United. I think he can get more out of his team. But everyone needs to be on board. Everyone needs to be on board. And the problem we've got is with such a big change coming in Ineos, you get silly little things coming out, which Andy Mitten has been onto this morning and last night. We're reading this. Many Manchester United players have lost belief and confidence in the club. They have issues with the way the club has been run, and several didn't think the strategic review going on in the background helped. However, reports on Erik ten Hag losing the dressing room are not accurate. Some are right behind him, others are not. He also has doubts about some players, and some have proved incapable of following his specific instructions on the pitch. There is also another bit that Andy Mitten has written regarding staff behind the scenes not being happy with the approach from Ineos as well, and how it's undermining John Murtough and the position and Erik ten Hag. Well, honestly, as a United fan, I'm glad they're coming in ruffling the feathers. They have been given control of the football side of things. If you lose your job, it's simply because you're not good enough at doing your job. So take it on the chin and move on, and maybe you will learn from it in later life. We all have to do it ourselves. Just because you're in this Manchester United bubble doesn't mean that you can actually get away with it. It's being opened up. Pop, there goes the pin. Ineos and Manchester United's bubble and the staff and the players. Not happy with the review. Not happy with the audit and people coming in. No, you're not happy with it because it's just going to uncover how shit you are at your job. So, yeah, not surprised that they're not happy with it. It's only because we're uncovering every single fault that there is behind the scenes at Manchester United. So, yeah, I ain't got a problem with that as a fan whatsoever. And you know what? They could do a bit more of that for me. They can ruffle a few more feathers, because I'm not for anyone getting away with lack of performance, not doing the jobs properly. Like I said, please, if you are tuning in and you didn't watch last night's show, I haven't got time today to go through it with it again, but just watch back the last 15 minutes when I was talking about that article that The Athletic did regarding some of Manchester United's dealings and some truth behind how Murtough has approached a lot of them transfers and the waste of money, and how United could have conducted them dealings differently. It is an amazing read, honestly, guys. So go and watch that back. Can everyone in the chat please just like the video now, and we will get over that 100 mark. Just a few away, over 400 in the room. Thank you, guys. I was rushing back. I didn't know if I was going to make it for a show today, but you know what I thought? Get the show up. We've got plenty to talk about still leading into the footballing weekend. We will be back tonight, by the way, at 6:30 with a full update. That will be your full interactive show. I am just going to get into a bit of the chat right now, actually. Happy we didn't get Werner. Worse than what we've got, and what we've got is poor, says Bobby. I don't know. I don't know. Stephanie, over 400 watching, almost 100 likes, 25% rules. Yes, that's correct. We're over the 100 like mark now, guys. But the incompetence has to stop now if we are to move forward, says Anthony Wisdom. Yes, it does. Aaron Lee says, Adam, wake up. They're not here to ruffle feathers. They're here to shake hands and give everyone a chance. It's a joke if you ask me. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Aaron. Shake hands and give everyone a chance? No, it's not. I'm not investing 1.3 billion and leaving Myrtle in charge of that 1.3 billion, mate. I'm sorry. I have to disagree with that one there. Ineos need to sort this ASAP, or what's the point? Redson says, Adam, are there any signs of change in the transfer policy? Yes, there quite clearly is, just from what we're actually seeing now. But like I said last night, what we have to do, guys, Ineos, so David Brailsford, Jim Ratcliffe, they can only do what they can while they're not officially in at Manchester United. They've done everything. They have not even been passed by the Premier League yet, and in 3 days they've been at Carrington and Old Trafford more than 2 decades worth for the Glazers. So let's just look at that as a positive for now. I know people can pass comment and say, look, they're not going to change anything. The Glazers are still there. What are they doing? Look at this window. They cannot control everything right now. By February, when they're in place, I think that's when we start judging them. So all we can do is just read between the lines right now. Look at the articles. People like Andy Mitten and The Athletic. Andy Mitten is very, very close to Manchester United and he's very well respected. So when he does come out and start talking, you tend to look at him and go, right, okay, yeah, there is something behind this. And if he's saying that there is people behind the scene that are unhappy and players, he said the rumours regarding Erik ten Hag and losing the dressing room are not true, but he also said in that same paragraph that some of the players, most of the players are on board with Erik ten Hag, but some are not. So in a way, losing the dressing room, I feel you need to have everyone on board in the dressing room. If you've lost a quarter of it, I think you're in trouble. It's a recipe for disaster, to be honest. So for me, I feel like right now Erik ten Hag, he's walking a tightrope. He really is, and I think he could just go at any time. Results now have to be win, 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 win. Like I said, them next few games, we will beat Wigan on Monday, and that's not being me arrogant or anything. If we didn't beat Wigan on Monday, he's sacked. So I fully expect Manchester United to win on Monday. There is zero excuse with everyone coming back and the amount of preparation time we've got. United will beat Wigan. I can safely say that. Then Wolves and Spurs, right now, in current form, they both beat us. So what happens? Erik ten Hag has to produce something out of this team that we've got. Erik ten Hag has to get this team moving forward, because them 2 games alone are very, very difficult. We always have tough games at Molineux, and Spurs, like we said, under Ange Postecoglou, are looking very, very good right now. Other news coming in is that Villarreal are now interested. This was the other right winger we was talking about at the start of the show in Palestre. Never gets his chance, and it does look like he's got plenty of interest. We talked about Flamengo last night being interested in Facundo Palestre on loan. Now looks like Villarreal. They've just released Brenton Diaz back. I think he's coming in at Sheffield United, the former Blackburn forward. So they've got room in their squad. They're looking at Facundo Palestre from Manchester United. And that's coming in. Says Villarreal are lining up a permanent offer for Facundo Palestre. Erik ten Hag's ready to let him leave. Another one on this one was that Villarreal are lining up permanent for Facundo Palestre. Again, every single one of them is saying exactly the same thing. That is that Erik ten Hag really has not got a problem with Facundo Palestre leaving. I'm gutted about that, simply because I don't want Anthony playing there. So there's 2 right wingers that have gone, which means Ten Hag has to get a tune out of Anthony. And I think this is where Erik ten Hag will fail, because I don't think we're going to get it. I really don't. Mason Mount is also expected to start in the FA Cup against Wigan this weekend, guys. So there's some updates in terms of your players and what's available for Wigan. I feel like with Wigan, I think we have got the opportunity to bring in a few other players, and I think he should definitely take the opportunity to do so. It's a perfect chance for him to test some other members of his squad and see what they've got and see if he can use them going forward. I'd have been playing Palestri in this game. I really would. McTominay needs to go to the Scottish club or a club like West Ham. That's from Tony. Andy says, someone turned the temperature down in the pamper room. The overprivileged, overpaid are snivelling. Great 100 says, I'm not sure we beat Wigan, to be honest. I think we will. Honestly, I'm confident. Sonny's injured. It'll be the Asia Cup anyway. I'm not even worried about Son. I still think the rest of the Spurs team could beat Manchester United right now. Wolves away. Wolves always run right over us. Doggy games. They are appalling games. Wolves games. I hate them. There's never more than 2 goals in it. It's crap. I'm not looking forward to that game at all. I'm really not. Focus on winning games. Priority for United must be Wigan and Spurs. For Ten Hag and United, I feel like it's a must. Definitely, it is a must. What's the news on the bid from Turkey from Martial, Adam? It's still doing the rounds this morning. The Fenerbahce bid is definite. A lot of sources are saying that they are interested in Martial. No update from what was last night, just that there is concrete interest in Martial. So we've got a month to make this deal happen. The only concern is what I've got right now is, and you can argue the point against Martial not contributing anything, but there's Sancho gone, that'll be Palestri gone on loan, Martial gone. We're running out of forwards, and if Højlund has that lapse, then I'm starting to think Ten Hag is in big trouble, because Rashford isn't going to cut it. He isn't. Rashford is definitely not going to cut it for Manchester United as a number 9. That goes without saying. So we do. If Palestri goes, I think Manchester United need to bring in another centre forward. If Martial goes, we are short. We really are short. So again, like I said at the top of the show, I think United are approaching this window in one of, we are getting all the dirt done first, getting everything out of the way, and then we're moving on to targets that we think we can actually bring in. So yes, I think that's United's approaching all of this. I don't want to see Palestri go. I really don't. I want to see Mount, maybe drop Bruno. I think Bruno will play. If Bruno's had a week off, he definitely plays, doesn't he? He does, but you know what? I would love to just see Ten Hag make some big calls now. He's done it with Rashford. He's done it with nearly every other big name in this football team. I think the only one left is Bruno Fernandes. And everyone knows my opinion on Bruno. I think he still is our best player. But he's out of form right now. And I think he just needs that little bit of a kick up the arse. I think he does. And it just shows the rest of this team that even if you're captain of Manchester United, you haven't got any God-given right to be in this team. As a captain, performance comes first, then your attitude on the pitch, and everything else follows suit. So for everyone to follow you on that pitch, you have to be performing and playing to the best of your abilities. Everyone then can look at you going, well, at least you're doing your job. He's got the right to have a go at me or complain about my game because I'm not doing it. But yeah, I feel like definitely an opportunity for Ten Hag against Wigan to drop a few, change a few things around and jig it up a little bit. You get a good idea. So in terms of updating everything of where we're up to, because guys, we have to shoot across to top of the league, so apologies for the short video. I did want to get something in just as a bit of an update today, so I really appreciate you coming into the room. Sancho, no buyout for Dortmund. The club just cannot afford it financially, so that's the only reason there's no buyout. He will be coming back in the summer. Palestri to Villarreal now, or Flamengo. Plenty of options for him. Ten Hag, we're hearing, is open to letting Palestri leave on loan, so expect that to happen this month now. Martial still rumoured to be going to Fenerbahce or to Saudi. United are weighing up the options right now. I'm trying to get a fee for Martial, as we did last night. If anything comes of that, I will update you through the day. And I will update you if anything breaks while we're on top of the league as well. So do tune in there. And yeah, looking ahead, Mason Mount should be back in action against Wigan on Monday night as well. But guys, I have to wrap it up there because we have to shoot straight across to the Sunderland and Newcastle watch along. So I really do appreciate you hanging on in there for me today. At least Alfie 171. It's a good start to the weekend, people. Really appreciate you all coming in the room and joining us on the stream. We'll talk more United tonight in a bit more depth in the live show. We'll have a pull-on proper interactive show tonight, and get into some juicy actual topics. I've got something I want to actually get into with you guys later. I've got a good idea and a good show lined up for 6:30 tonight. So yeah, guys, that is it. I'm flying across the top of the league right now, so please do join me there. And let's have a great day, guys. I'll see you later on tonight. If not, see you in about 2 minutes over on top of the league as well. So yeah, hit the like button, subscribe if you tune in for the first time. I will be back later on tonight here, but for now, over to top of the league we go.